So I wanted to make this video to put at the end of the PowerPoint to add a more like personal connection to it, and that way you can kind of get a better idea of sort of what I'm talking about. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I got into esports and my personal growth, and also the growth that I've seen in the various scenes that I've been in. So the way that I got into it was actually that I stumbled upon a random YouTube video, I don't remember exactly what it was, by a Super Smash Brothers player called Esam, and that was when it clicked in my head that esports was a thing that I could actually do myself, and that there was a scene for that game, you know? And that was when it piqued my interest. I was a little bit younger at the time though, so I wasn't really able to start getting into it, but over the next couple years I was able to start driving and such, and on Facebook I came across the page for my local scene, and that was when I figured out, I was like, I'm gonna go to some tournaments, you know? And through that I started going to tournaments, and I started competing, and eventually I started commentating as well, which was a really, really cool development. That was something I've wanted to do for a super long time, and that was through connections I'd made at the local level. And then there was a third element that allowed me to continue to progress, which was Twitch. Through Twitch streams, particularly through commentating over more local tournaments, I was able to gain a little bit more recognition, and eventually in March of 2020, right before the COVID crisis began to get like really bad, I had my biggest commentary gig at a tournament called CEO Dreamland. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was the growth that I've seen in my own personal scenes at the more local level. I used to live in Jacksonville when I first started competing, before I came out to Gainesville for college, and you know, at the beginning when I first started going out, we only had roughly 30 people per event, and towards the end of my time in Jacksonville, we doubled to roughly like 60 per event, and seeing that growth was really, really cool. And it was mostly down to the group of guys that we had at like the top of the scene, who were doing a lot of advertisement through Facebook and Discord and such, and they were encouraging people to come out. And another big part of that was just how accepting and inclusive the Jacksonville scene was, you know. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it. I didn't want to make the video too long, because obviously I don't want to waste anyone's time here, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about my own experiences, and maybe encourage some of you, if you're interested after the pandemic's all blown over, to come out and enjoy the esports environment. It's a really, really cool thing, whether you're spectating or competing, and I just wanted to give you all my personal thoughts on it, so I hope you enjoyed all that.